everyone, just a heads up, we recorded this episode before Lila arrived.
We're taking a few weeks off from the studio, so in the meantime, we hope you enjoy the pre-recorded videos.
We were literally going to Ep.5 for 4 days. So the next day I was on my own all day and I was like, no one will know if I take a test. I got to the stage where she started to sleep and I was like, I could have another one. And then I'm like, no, you haven't slept in 9 months.
Yeah.
No, breathe. Things like that, I don't think I'd have took personally 2 years ago, but now I'm like, do you want to wake up? Everything I do it to try and make the people I've lost proud. I'm not saying we need to go to sleep best of friends, but I'd rather us talk it out.
To be honest, I don't think we always do that.
We're really bad with that.
So I looked it up and I was like, that is actually so weird.
No, I kid you not, I just got chills.
Hey guys, and welcome to our brand new podcast, The 3am Club, with me, Caitlin.
And me, Leah.
We'll be talking everything about our relationship and parenting and everything that comes along with that.
Pooey nappies.
Couple fights.
Screaming toddlers.
And sleepless nights. So you're going to hear all about our parenting adventures, the good, the bad, and the mad, as we become parents of 2.
And we'll also bring some amazing guests along for the ride.
We want to hear all about your parenting tips and hacks, funny stories, couple fails, and questions on our segment, The Midnight Mail. So welcome to the 3am Club. Hey guys, welcome to the 3am Club with me, Caitlin.
And me, Leah.
So today we are joined by the lovely Sydney May Crouch. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Thanks for coming.
How would you describe yourself?
In the last year, I'm more known as like a mummy blogger. Do we still use that word? But a lot more recently, people come up to me, if they do, and they say, oh my God, I've seen your mum stuff on TikTok. And I'm just so shocked because TikTok was my last platform to join. But I would say I started out on YouTube. So I dipped my toe in everything.
Yeah. So you've done YouTube for like quite a long time then?
Yeah, I started YouTube when I was 19.
Ooh.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been in the game quite a while. I'll be 27 this year. I started with my best friend at the time. We were a duo channel. And honestly, I think the reason we done well in the beginning was because we genuinely done it to make time for each other, and it was just a little hobby. So we would say, oh, let's meet up, we could film a video, because it's something that I always liked the idea of doing for a bit of fun, and she needed a little bit more nudging, but it honestly just...
There's always one in the relationship.
Yeah.
Like when we first started off, I needed the nudging. Yeah. And I feel like now you need the nudging.
Yeah,
which
that's
is really
true.
weird.
I feel like it has kind of switched a little bit.
Yeah, so you guys will know, like, duo, obviously, a little bit different, but we didn't actually have it in our head that we wanted it as a job, as much as it's a nice idea.
But for someone who's obviously been online for so long, how do you set those boundaries from like your online life to like your personal life?
It's hard because I do feel like, for me personally, the things that do well and what people want to see is day-to-day vlogs, and as soon as you have a kid, people are so invested. I've started showing my daughter Ocean, so now I can change my mind at any point. And I've said that I am open to the idea that one day I might say, do you know what, she's going to school, we might not want her online. But right now, I don't know, I feel like I am an open book to an extent. I've put so much of my life online that it just feels pretty natural.
Because people have so many opinions and stuff, but there's no rule book that comes with the job that's like, you know.
Exactly.
But when they're so young, like I understand, because babies change their face. Like no one's going to know Oakley from a 1-year-old if we ever showed him to like when he's 15.
Exactly.
Yeah, they look so different.
Do you know what? It feels right at the minute. And like I said, if we change our mind, so be it.
But then it's like the opposite with us as well, though, because people go crazy that we don't show his face. They're like, why are you not showing his face? So I feel like literally anything you do is not right.
On a bit of a lighter subject, so tell us about when you told your friends and family that you were pregnant. Did you like wait for the 12 weeks? Was it a big thing?
So I actually Googled how early you could take your test. And it said that I could take a test on the Friday, and this was the Sunday night. So I was like, I can't wait till Friday, easy.
Yeah.
But we were going on holiday on the Tuesday. We were literally going to Ibiza for 4 days. And I was like, it's fine, we're going to be occupied. So the next day I was on my own all day, and I was like, no one will know if I take a test.
Yeah.
So I took a test, and that's when I found out I was pregnant.
Aww.
And then I was like, oh my God, I've got to tell my boyfriend and we're going to Ibiza in the morning. And in my head, I was like, well, I want to film it. I want to do something nice. I want to do something and show him dramatic. But I literally had about 2 hours to plan all this and pack to go away. I hadn't packed a thing. And then I was battling with, oh my God, I want to tell everyone and we go on holiday in the morning. So I did manage to tell him with like a little baby grow that evening. And then we went away for the rest of that week and we decided we were just going to keep it to us and enjoy it that week. And then me and my nan are so close that I can't believe I lasted 4 days not telling her. And then when we landed, we drove straight to hers and told her. And then we told his family that weekend.
How was your nan's reaction?
Yeah, everyone knew we were kind of trying, which was kind of annoying and kind of weird, but yeah, it was still good. And she was still really shocked considering, because it was very early on and it was one of them things. I'm so dramatic. I was like, this is going to take years.
It's so true though. You never know how long it's going to take. So I guess it's so good that it worked.
I mean, yeah,
early.
same for you guys, I guess. It's just so I personally always prepare myself for the worst. I'm like,
oh,
this
God.
is going to take years.
Yeah, we're like that as well. We're like, if we think of the worst, then if anything better happens, it's fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. When did you announce the pregnancy, like on social media and stuff?
Literally bang on 12 weeks.
Was it like
Again,
the day?
I remember being like, I can chill, like, I don't mind. I mean, it's so easy to say. I've said so many things, like we found out the gender with Ocean, and I keep saying second baby. I don't think we need to find out.
Didn't you find out the gender yourself on the nub theory?
Yeah, so...
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that
Because you
video.
do this all the time. Caitlin, like, literally goes on the Facebook websites
I
and
find it
guesses.
really interesting looking at other people's. I'm like, oh, Leo, what do you think this is going to be?
And I always guess it right, but I don't even know what I'm really doing.
So, same, in a way. But there is a way, I'm not even going to go into it because it's...
Isn't it like... If it's in line with the spine, then it's kind of a girl, but then if it's sticking up a bit, it's a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But you can't always see a nub on a scan.
Exactly.
So some people, I've kind of made out to my friends that I'm an expert. So they all send me their scans early on and I'm all cocky like, yeah, that's a...
Are you right
girl.
all the time?
Literally was right for ages. I had a really good track record, and then one of my friends, she had a baby, her gender reveal, and I couldn't make it. And I was like, it's fine because you're having a girl. I don't need to go. And the next day she was like, you need to hang up your gloves. It's a boy.
Oh no!
Like the job's over.
Oh no! You should have been charging people.
I know,
Yeah,
but I
people
still feel
literally-
fairly confident.
Yeah.
I'd love for people to just challenge me. Some people do. They're like, I know it, but can you just guess?
Yeah.
Well, whoever's watching, you have to send
in your
scans to Sydney.
scans.
Yeah.
But I always say, like, do you actually want me to explain how it works? Because I feel like I've kind of ruined it for myself.
Really?
Not in a way. Obviously, I didn't care. I found out.
But it's like you wait to know, like when you
Yeah.
pop the balloon or whatever you do.
Yeah.
I guess you could ask them not to scan, like show that bit on the scan.
But one of my friends, she is aware that we all try. There's like, we've got a group chat, all of us have kids, and then we've all kind of tried to figure out each other's nubs in the early days. And she sent her scan and cropped it out.
No way.
Because she
That
was
is
like, I'm
so
not having any of
cheeky.
you try and tell me what we're having. Because she's like, it confuses me. And I'm just like, let's just wait.
That is so funny.
You would be so annoyed at that because
I would.
she loves the game of actually trying to guess.
So looking
which
at your
it
scans,
is.
could you have worked it out if you wanted to?
Well, to be fair, we did the early NIPT test at 10 weeks.
blood test?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, I
like,
did that.
So it was too early to even have a nub, I think.
Okay.
But I feel like we could have worked out. But to be honest, we had a scan at 10 weeks at our IVF clinic whilst they did the blood test.
Yeah.
And he scanned that area to see if there was like a willy. And to be honest, it looked like there was. So we thought that we were having a boy when we looked.
Really?
Yeah, it looked like something in between the legs.
But then don't they say that the willy doesn't form till like 16 weeks?
Exactly. So I think that it was...
Umbilical cord?
It must have been. So we convinced ourselves it was a boy. Did you have any other names for Ocean?
Yeah, we had loads. My baby name list on my phone, I don't know about you guys, but since I was in school, I've had a notes list
Yeah,
that is
that
like
was
3
me.
pages long. But when it comes to it, and I found out I was pregnant, I think we had like one boy's name that we both agreed on. Because obviously there's ones you like and then there's ones you agree on.
Yeah.
So immediately your list goes down to like 3.
It's true.
And then we had a girl's one. We really liked Nola for ages.
That's so cute.
And then we found out she was actually a girl. And then we were just like, she's not Nola. And then I let Cass go through my list again. And he was like the only one I kind of like. He's Ocean. And this is such a weird reason, but have you guys heard of Ocean Beach in Ibiza.
Yeah.
Straight away, because he used to be quite a party boy, I was like, I'm really surprised because you're not just going to compare it to Ocean Beach. And he was laughing so much, and he was like, right now I feel like we can't do Ocean. But then a couple of days later I was like, so what do we think? We need to think about names. And he was like, no, I still really like Ocean. But I hope she doesn't mind me saying, his mum was like, I hate it.
Really? Same with our family.
She was like, I really don't like it. But we're very like,
headstrong.
oh well.
Yeah.
You'll get used to it.
Does she like it now?
She
though?
loves it.
Yeah.
She's the only one that bought us, well, not the only one, but she's the one that buys all the personalised outfits. So yeah, she loves it now.
But literally our parents, like,
Especially
your
my
parents
mum.
were the same, weren't they? They were like, no, I don't like the name Oakley.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's and now she's like, I love the name. I've never said that. It's like, you have said
You
that.
definitely told us not to use the name Oakley.
I know, it's so funny. But personally, I was like, okay, it makes me want to use it more.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, just shows that it's quite unique, I think,
Yeah.
because I think people are more inclined to be like, oh, why don't you go for one that people will definitely like?
Yeah.
It's like,
I
but
love that
why?
name.
I think it's
Yeah,
such a
gorgeous.
gorgeous name.
And then when
So
you gave
pretty.
birth, didn't you have like ocean, like a picture?
Yes, so
It's meant to be.
weird. So in my labour, what is it called, labour room, delivery room,
I think so.
Yeah.
there was a mural on the wall, huge, the whole wall. And when we walked in, like, I nearly collapsed. But then I thought, wait, this could be in every single room.
Yeah.
That it just is
Like a picture of an
coincidence, but
ocean.
yeah, the whole front wall. Literally, I was sitting, say I'm giving birth here. It was in front of me.
That's crazy.
And I said, is this in every room? And she said, well, there's a mural in every room, but not the ocean. She said, I think next door is the city. The one
Oh
along
my
is like the hills.
Wow.
And I was just like, and then Cass was laughing at me because he was just like, you're so dramatic. So I was like, but again, this is where I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a sign.
But we actually had something similar happen to us recently. So we did the baby shower recently and it was all like kind of lilac themed and Leah planned it and stuff, but it was nothing related to her name. And then we posted a video and so many people started commenting, oh, I bet the name's Lila. And I was like, why do they think that? And then someone wrote, Lila in Danish means lilac or purple.
And the donor's Danish.
And then the donor's Danish. So I looked it up and I was like, that is actually so weird.
No, I kid you not, I just got chills.
It's
Like, I
crazy,
literally
isn't
just
it?
felt,
We had
and I'm
no
really
idea.
warm.
And then we're like, did we just accidentally say her name without even meaning to?
No, but it was just crazy that like she'll be
Yeah.
half Danish and her name literally means purple. And then the baby shower was all
lilac.
purple.
Everything was
all
lilac.
lilac.
A lot of people said to Caitlin, oh, it's going to be a girl because it's going to be like for your mum and
yeah.
that. Did you feel pressure having a girl for your mum? Even the doctors in the clinic.
I tell you what I felt
was saying
pressure for.
this.
Everyone was like, oh, you're going to like use your mum's name, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, I'll be honest, it's not my vibe.
Yeah.
Like, my name's Sydney, my boyfriend's name's Cassius. I feel like it's a bit too normal.
Which is
It's
fair
true.
enough. You don't
Yeah.
have like
It was.
you don't
We just
have
needed
to.
a bit of an off the wall name because otherwise, it just in birthday cards, Sydney, Cassius, and Nicola. I just feel like it doesn't. Really...
I feel like even as a middle name, it wouldn't go with Ocean.
exactly.
So-
And I did want to tie something in, so we honoured my grandparents with Ocean's middle name, which is August, because my grandparents were both born in August. So we did do a little something, but
That's
now I'm like,
lovely.
damn it, I didn't honour my mum. I'm horrible.
But that's not true.
That is
No.
not true. Like you said before, you're making her proud every day. Like
Yeah.
you, and like when we watch you, like you're such an amazing mum to Ocean. And,
thank you.
Like we're just watching like 10 seconds on like a TikTok or a YouTube, which is longer, and you can see how much you love
Yeah,
her.
it's so true.
I say the same to you. Like your mums would be very proud of you both.
Yeah, absolutely. Same as you.
Thank you. Do you have any advice for like dealing with grief or
Especially since becoming a parent, because I feel like I'm worried for Caitlin and you're worried because obviously Caitlin's going to give birth and you're going to want your mum there.
Yeah.
And obviously with it being so close, that these two things have happened, do you have any like advice?
Yeah. Firstly, I'm sorry for your loss. I did
Thank
see
you.
online. It's one of them things, I think everyone deals with grief so differently. For me, I lost my mum when I was 9 and then I was raised by my grandparents. So my parent figures were essentially my grandparents anyway. So not to compare the two, but the biggest impact of loss that I've had was the loss of my granddad. And it also was because I was twice the age. I was 18. So that is probably more in the forefront of my brain. But it still doesn't change the fact that obviously Mother's Day swings round. I have a baby, and like you do think like, oh, what if? And I don't have my mum. And as much as I have that motherly figure in my nan, and I'm so grateful, but it doesn't change the fact that you're aware that you're different to like the day-to-day people that do have their mums. But I would just say that everything I do it to try and make the people I've lost proud. So I think you have to like flip it and try and just turn it into a positive, as hard as that is. And it's something that you probably won't be able to do for years and years. Like, I'm way further down the line than you. And I just think you've got to make the most of your little ones that you've got together. And just, I don't know how you see it, but I always think that they can somehow see, as much as I'm not really religious, like I feel their energy, and like they know what's going on, and that they would be proud. And just that main thing of like everything you do, especially with your kids, if they could see you, how proud they would be. And that really helps like push me along.
So you feel like you do have like signs and stuff?
Yeah, I do. I believe in all the things like white feathers, butterflies, things like that. Even around, I feel like when I was pregnant, it's just such a blur now. Is that the same for you?
It feels like a lifetime ago, but also yesterday.
Yeah, there's things that happened a month after giving birth, and I was just like, why can't I remember? But I seem to remember I was seeing a lot more signs when I was pregnant, and just little things that, I don't know, just I think sometimes if it comforts you, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter if anyone else gets it. Like, I understand that sometimes I say to people, I saw a white butterfly today. Even my boyfriend, he looks at me like, that's nice. And I'm just like, he doesn't get it, but that's okay. And it's something that comforts me, and that's enough.
That's good.
So going back to like the whole friend situation, you've got like a group chat with all your friends. Have your friendships changed since becoming a mum?
Well, a lot of my best friends are actually from the industry. So I met them
really good.
through the job, through events in the early days. And a lot of them, I think I was the last to have a baby. So yeah, I was. So not really, because I kind of saw it and I wasn't really thrown in the deep end. If anything, they kind of warned me, and yeah, they've been as supportive of I've been to them. And I get it, because I'm the only one, I think, with one child.
Oh, really?
So now I get, like, if they take 3 to 5 working days to reply, which I do anyway, I'm like, they literally have like 10 kids, even though they've got like 2 or 3.
We're getting to the stage where we're getting like, oh my gosh,
what have we got ourselves into? Like, we're literally a bit scared.
Because Oakley's in such a good routine. He sleeps, he naps.
Yeah.
And now, like, in the first like 6 months, he did not sleep at all.
Yeah.
Same as Ocean. It's tough.
Oh, it's honestly so hard.
It's wild. But I feel like I got to the stage where she started to sleep, and I was like, I could have another one. And then I'm like reminding myself, like, no, you haven't slept in 9 months.
Yeah.
No, breathe.
We didn't
enjoy
remind
your sleep.
ourselves that. We forgot about that part.
All the best with 2 kids.
I feel like we are so lucky. I don't know if your boyfriend like goes out to work, but because we're both at home, there's 2 of us, so we are so lucky.
But we do get on each other's nerves. Like, I don't know if it's with you and Cass, but if she doesn't do the washing, I'm like, Caitlin, you can do the washing. Or if I don't like sterilise something, she's like, why aren't you doing this? Like, we do get on each other's nerves a bit with like the housework
all the time.
When before kids, that was never an issue, but everything's so heightened now.
Oh,
because
definitely.
it's like you've only got a certain
you take
amount
the
of time
smallest
to do
things personal. I actually did a TikTok the other day, and I literally filmed it, and mainly to annoy him. Like, we'd already had the conversation, but just to give some context. He wasn't trying to offend me too bad, but he took his own washing off the washing line.
That would be really annoying.
But he was like, where am I? And then he did a TikTok, I don't know if you saw it, and got me back.
I didn't see that.
And he showed my wardrobe room.
Oh no.
And which is like every day, it just looks like it's a problem. But it's my wardrobe, go away.
So it's your problem, not his.
And he was like, well, where was going to put your washing? But my argument was, just take it off the line and fold it and put it in a pile, and then I can deal with that after. So yeah, things like that, I don't think I'd have took personally 2 years ago, but now I'm like, do you want to break up?
Yeah, literally. Like, we have so many arguments over the housework,
so
don't we?
Yeah. You look back and you're like, why did we just argue about that? Like, yesterday's argument is so ridiculous, but this is the God's honest truth, and it was actually a really big argument. Caitlin at the moment is on a blow-up bed because she finds our bed uncomfortable. you were like just in pain. So I was like, why don't you just lay on my bed? Because at the moment it's just my bed. So I was like, lay on my bed and we'll just cuddle. And you were like, I'm not laying on it because it's not been washed. So
Yeah, because I literally actually have OCD with like bedding. So like if we don't wash it once a week, I get really like funny. And you haven't washed yours in.
But bearing in mind,
while.
I did 4 lots of washing this day. So I said to Caitlin, if you want to wash the bedding, nothing's stopping you. Like, wash the bedding.
And I was like, I'm 38 weeks pregnant. I can just about walk. I don't think that's very fair.
And then Caitlin was like, well, if you're not going to wash the bedding, I'm going to buy new bedding. And I was like, that is so lazy because I've called you lazy and you're 38 weeks
I got
pregnant.
really
it's
offended.
Not, so that was like a whole
this is
thing.
so normal though, isn't it?
Yeah. Did your relationship change, like, even like at all, like how much you were together, intimacy, anything like that since Ocean?
Yeah, it has massively. And it took me a really long time. Even, I'll be honest, now, I still kind of have to remind myself, like, you can't be annoyed that he's going to work. Because I'm like, oh my God, he gets a break all day. And
it's actually easier to go into work.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, I'm so odd. I'll be like, oh, you get to go to work. But then he'll say, we'll get one of the grandparents round. I'm just like, no, I want her to myself. Like,
I feel that so much.
It's such I'm so conflicted in my brain all the time. And yeah, for a really long time, I'd make little digs when he got home from work. Like, oh, you've had it easy all day. He's like, I've been at work all day. And then we're arguing which job's harder.
Yeah.
But I think this stage, now she's nearly 1, is way harder than the newborn stage.
Oh, yeah.
No,
sure.
I think the opposite.
Really?
Like, well, bearing in mind, Oakley did not sleep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then we were saying, like, his walking now is so much easier when he's walking than
Ocean's not walking
crawling.
yet.
See, I feel like newborn is easier because they literally can't move.
That's
they
me.
sleep
Yeah.
all the time.
That's me.
And then I found crawling, that was hard because they're just like, everything is just, they're everywhere. Like they're trying to get into everything.
Yeah.
But then I have found like, since he's been walking, it has been a little bit easier. I don't know why though.
Like where I could be like in the mornings 50% turned on. I've got to be 100% turned on from 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Because she is ready and raring to go. It's been a massive change for us. But I think the one thing that's saved us is having a split routine for the last, I think, 4 or 5 months, and we have never swayed. We do every other morning with her.
We do that as well.
Do you?
Yeah.
And it's, isn't it the best? One of us can go slow-mo in the morning.
Yeah.
And you can sleep if you want. Like, it's honestly the best thing. I highly recommend.
It does make a difference.
It definitely does, yeah.
And I know not everyone has that luxury. I get it.
Yeah,
Some people
it's
do have to go to work really early.
Yeah.
Of course.
But little things like that, I think, split routines. And I don't really like us to go to bed unless we've kind of like had a situation out. If we're not talking that day or we're being grumpy with each other. I'm not saying we need to go to sleep best of friends, but I'd rather us talk it out.
That is a very good idea.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think we always do that. Most of the time we do,
we're
but
really
not
bad
always.
with that. I mean, even
Yeah.
yesterday with the whole argument with the bed.
I've seen them online say, we can't go to bed until we're okay. Sometimes you might not be okay for a few days.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't have the energy to talk about it.
But I do think as long as I actually think he would disagree, I think, but I think I'm more stubborn. Sometimes he's like, do you want to talk about it? And I'm like, I appreciate you for asking me, but I really don't want to talk about it tonight because with the baby now, I'm tired.
Yeah.
So then we will leave it till the next day, but we've at least one of us has tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next
you
day,
appreciate
normally
that.
we feel better and we've had time to think about it and then you can talk. But I don't think we've come close to breaking up, but there have been times where I'm literally like, I hate your guts.
Yeah.
You need to leave me alone.
100%, yeah.
3 to 5 working days.
That makes us feel a lot better. I'm not even going to lie.
No,
Yeah.
it's so true.
There's just so much going on. It's hard.
Yeah.
And I feel, do you find it hard to like make time for each other, like date nights and?
We do, but we, again, are so lucky that we are the first ones to have a baby. I don't know if you guys are. So everyone is like, oh, babysit. Oh, babysit.
That is very lucky.
We've got so many people, obviously, like with grandparents. So if anything, they're the ones that are like, do you want a date night? We want a babysit.
That is really good.
So we do try, but I think there's the thing. It's like every 7 days you should have a date night to yourself. Every 7 weeks you should have a weekend away, and every 7 months you
yeah,
should
I've heard
We're really
that.
not doing that
and
at
I
all.
did. I remember saying that, but I don't know if it's super realistic.
That
No.
is kind of...
I feel like
Yeah.
once a month is probably like good.
Yeah.
But
To be fair, we've had an actual date together, honestly, this is so bad, since Oakley. Oakley's 14 months, nearly 15 months.
Yeah.
We're really,
we
really
went
bad
to the
at
cinema
leaving.
I guess it must be harder for you guys because, like
Yeah.
you said, you're together 24/7. I genuinely think, I don't think we'd be together if we were together 24/7, to be honest.
We literally...
We drive each other mad.
And we
I-
work together on top of it as well.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Yeah, it's like we're work partners, but we're also
Wives, mums.
Yeah, it's
So I get it, and you
Yeah.
might get to a point where obviously you're not sick of each other, but after spending all day together and then you've got a date, you might be like, I would rather go to bed, to be honest.
Oh my gosh,
But yeah, some days when he's worked a long shift, he'll get home and I'm genuinely like, oh my God, I missed you today. Which is still exciting to have.
feel like
that.
that's
So I
nice.
think
That is lovely.
that's
maybe
why
that's
we do it a little bit more, but I wouldn't say we do it loads.
I do feel like we
Nothing
should do
to
it
be
more
jealous
though,
about.
because like when we do go out and bring Oakley, it's always like the full focus is on Oakley.
Agree.
Yeah, because you're in a restaurant, you have to feed them, and like there's just so much focus on them that you don't have time for each other.
very
So I do
true.
feel like we probably should, but
We say this, but we need to put it into action.
Yeah, maybe in like a few months.
Maybe if you book something so it's in the diary.
Yeah, that's a
it's
good
very
idea.
true.
And then you can't cancel it.
No. Now it's time for our weekly segment, Midnight Mail, where we receive DMs from you guys over on the 3am Club podcast on Instagram. Okay, so Hannah says, how do you know you're ready for a baby?
They say when you know, but do you know?
I feel like you can think you're ready for a baby, but once you have a
And then
baby,
when
you
you
have
see
no
Hits you in
idea.
the face.
Mine was when I saw the test, everything was like, are you ready? Can I look after myself, let alone a baby? I feel like nothing's ever perfect.
Yeah.
When it's as good day to day as you'd hope,
As you can
like
be.
your relationship, I do think you do get gut feelings as women in particular.
You feel it in your heart and your gut, and you just...
But then on the flip side, if you fall pregnant and it wasn't planned, sometimes you're just like, we're going to make it work. And then it was the best thing ever.
Yeah, like it was always meant to be.
Yeah. I don't think there's ever a right time. It's just the baby was right for you at that time.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're always waiting for the right time, I feel like there's never a perfect moment in life.
You might pass it if you just keep going,
Yeah.
is it now? Is it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one says, issue, my baby won't go back to sleep in the middle of the night after a feeding. What do I do?
It's hard to know without knowing the background.
It is
But
hard.
for us personally, our issue, the reason why Oakley was waking up 20 times in the night is because we kept thinking he was hungry. So we just kept giving him milk.
Yeah,
constantly.
And he would drink like an ounce at a time, so he wasn't hungry, but we just thought he was hungry. So every time he woke up, we'd give him a bottle. And I feel like that was keeping him awake because he was waking up for this bottle that he didn't even need, or like was just stirring in his sleep, and we assumed, oh, he must be hungry.
I think Ocean was the opposite. So we were doing the same. She's waking up, she must need milk. They don't really give you a specific time of when you kind of get rid of that night feed.
Yeah, it's
night
true.
feeds. I think it was habit in the end. Like she'd wake up because she'd think, I'm going to get milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's quite a hungry baby now. Even we could keep feeding her. We've kind of got to make the decision for her, like, okay, she must be full because she's eaten a whole plate of food. So yeah, it wasn't until we done our second round of sleep coaching that she was like, she does not need milk at night right now.
Yeah.
There's no way. She will be fine. And as
Yeah.
soon as we kind of just went slightly cold turkey, she slept through the night since, pretty much.
We literally had to do the same. We had to go cold turkey with him, and it literally took one night of going
Same.
cold turkey.
Yeah.
One or two for us, yeah.
Literally.
For him to realise, like, oh, like,
You don't
I don't
need
need
a
to
drink
wake
at
up.
night time,
No,
yeah.
But I guess other things are like, we for Oakley have a sleep noise, like a sleep machine with
like
white
same
noise.
Same.
Like, do you have the white noise on? Because I know they associate that with sleep.
Yeah.
Is the room dark?
Like, do you have like the same routine every night? Like, we always put him in his sleep bag, put him in his bed and stuff.
Show him his like one teddy. He knows it's like
I
his
feel like we've got a
nighttime.
very, very similar routine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It
I mean,
seems
she's
like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also feel like it's important to remember we were there. We were both there with no sleep. Like, although your baby's not sleeping now and waking up, they will eventually sleep through the
Oh,
night. Just
it feels
hold
like
on.
it's never going to end. But
Yeah.
once you are through that, like, life does feel a bit more normal.
Okay, so the last one is from Penny. Don't fake tan and then breastfeed your baby when you think it's dry. Whoops.
The face goes orange.
See, we've never. Well, I did when I was younger, and so did you. But we haven't fake tanned in years.
No.
I don't
Do
know
you
if
fake tan?
I put tinted moisturiser on my face because
Yeah.
I always put Factor 50 on my face. But no, I haven't had that issue. I haven't done the fake tan on the body either. But
I guess it's a
have
funny
seen people do
story.
it. Yeah.
Really?
As in, I've seen people post like TikToks and stuff when they've got like a bit of a patch on their face. It's funny.
That is really funny.
You imagine you've just fake tanned and the baby is like crying and they want milk, and it's like, what do you do? Especially if you're only breastfeeding.
Yeah.
I feel like I just wouldn't put it on my boobs. Like I would just try and avoid.
Yeah.
What you fake tan? Oh yeah, because your boobs are normally covered.
Yeah, maybe just shoulders. Top tip. Don't put it on your baby.
Yeah, if you're breastfeeding. So before we go, is there any advice that you would give to someone in the 3am club?
From parenting, relationships, just one bit of advice that you'd like to share with everyone at the 3am club.
I'm really trying to be present and in the moment. I feel like when you lose someone, it really makes you think like life is so short. I think it's since I've become a mum, to be honest, because you guys will know, like, they go so fast. And I literally remember people saying that to me when I was pregnant, and I was like, shut up. But it's so true, and it makes me so sad.
I know. It's
So
crazy to think that they're going to be sick.
stop and just be. I want time to stop.
The days are so long. Like sometimes they feel like they're never ending, but then you look back on the years,
have gone
so fast.
quick.
Yeah, and if I thought about it too long, I could cry. So
I love that advice though.
Yeah, that is
but
really
I need
good
to take it on
advice.
board myself. So let's all do it together.
Yeah, we should do it together. We should.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sydney, for coming and for talking to us and giving all your advice, funny stories and parenting tips.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been so much fun, and congratulations with the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much.
I will be tuning in weekly.
Oh,
Thank you. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for the 3am club.
Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow and listen on Spotify or your podcast app of choice.
Feel free to leave a like, comment, and also a good review.
And remember, you're part of the 3am club too, so send in your parenting tips, funny stories, and questions.
You can come find us at the 3am Club podcast on Instagram and TikTok.
Bye!